Day 80, Deuteronomy chapters 30 through 31. Moses has good and bad news for the Israelites today. You're going to break this covenant. God knows it, I know it, you know it. So here's what you need to do when that happens. Repent. Turn back to God. He won't abandon you. He'll restore everything you lost when you turned away from Him. When they sin and are carried into captivity, God will use those circumstances to change their hearts. See chapter 30, verse 6. Then they'll turn to Him and begin to obey Him. When God gives someone a new heart, their desires change. The Hebrew word for heart combines the words we use for heart and mind. It's where desire and will overlap, and it's what drives our actions. Without a new heart, it's impossible to please God. Only when He changes our hearts will we respond to Him rightly. Because He doesn't just want to be obeyed, He wants to be known and loved. Moses wants them to experience not just the land God promised, but also the life that's only found in relationship with God. Moses doesn't get to enter the promised land, so he can only speak on the experience of knowing God. Since the day he met God, his assignment has been to live in the desert with sinners. But because he knows God, this experience contains a surprising peace, an irreplaceable intimacy. Even without the earthly benefit of land, his relationship with God is joy-inducing. He wants this joy and freedom for the Israelites too. When he tells them he's about to die, it's probably terrifying for them. He's the only leader they've ever known. He probably wants to calm their fears because he knows firsthand how much fear can lead to rebellion. So he starts by reminding them that God is their leader. God Himself will go before them into the promised land. He'll fight against the nations that live there, and He'll win. Then Moses calls Joshua up front and tells him not to fear too. In both instances, he doesn't tell them to think about how awesome they are or to believe in their dreams. Instead, he says to remember the nearness of God. That's what Moses offers as the antidote to fear. After he commissions Joshua for his role as leader, he says they should read the law aloud, all of it, every 7 years during the Feast of Booths, which will take place in the city where God establishes the tabernacle. All the Israelites and even the sojourners living among them will travel there once every 7 years, and they'll be reminded of all the laws. Then God calls a meeting with Moses and Joshua. God doesn't have great news. Moses, you're about to die. Joshua, you're about to lead these people, and guess what? They're about to rebel. This is similar to when God first called Moses to talk to Pharaoh about releasing the Israelites. God basically said, go ask Pharaoh to do this specific thing. By the way, I'm going to harden his heart so that he says no to what I'm telling you to ask him to do. It says a lot about their trust in God that they do these things after He tells them they'll fail first. It's easy to think that if God tells us to do something, it's guaranteed to succeed. God says He'll bless the people with plenty, and then they'll get comfortable in their easy lives and break the covenant. They rebelled in the lack of the wilderness, and they'll rebel in the abundance of the promised land. God will be angry with them, and they'll be devoured. Instead of remembering what Moses just said to them and repenting of their idolatry, they'll question God's love and presence. God commissions Joshua and reminds him, I'll be with you. Joshua will need that reminder soon when his mentor dies and everything goes south with the people he's leading. Today's God shot. God knows how much betrayal he'll endure, how he'll be doubted, forgotten, and falsely accused of abandonment, but still His love persists. Knowing the future, especially a future like that, could easily threaten a lesser love. But not Yahweh's love. He enters in with full knowledge of the pain He'll endure, knowing we will not be worth it, and still He doesn't let go. We can't change his mind or talk him out of his choice to set his heart on us. No one else loves like him. He's where the joy is.